Today is May 5th, 2025. This is Read Through the Bible.
Hi, everyone.
And we're back at Numbers again after being in the Psalms over the weekend.
Right.
And
we're still preparing for the journey.
Yeah, because the journey comes in chapter 10, and today we're reading chapters 8 and 9. Still just kind of with some cleansing laws. We've seen the people needed to be clean. We've seen the altar needed to be cleansed with sacrifices, and now we just have some cleansing of the Levites, just how to keep them clean, and then just even celebrating the Passover in chapter 9. So let's go at it. So we have these 7 lamps, whatever these lamps are. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and say to him, when you set up the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light in front of the lampstand." And Aaron did so. He set up its lamps in front of the lampstand as the Lord commanded Moses. And this was the workmanship of the lampstand: hammered work of gold, from its base to its flowers. It was hammered work according to the pattern that the Lord had shown Moses, so he made the lampstand.
And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the Levites from among the people of Israel and cleanse them. Thus you shall do to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle the water of purification upon them, and let them go with a razor over all their body, and wash their clothes and cleanse themselves. Then let them take a bull from the herd and its grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, and you should take another bull from the herd for a sin offering. And you shall bring the Levites before the tent of meeting and assemble the whole congregation of the people of Israel. When you bring the Levites before the Lord, the people of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord as a wave offering from the people of Israel, that they may do the service of the Lord. Then the Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, and you shall offer the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering to the Lord to make atonement for the Levites." And just notice how many times all of these different offering types that we read about in Leviticus come up. So, verse 13, "And you shall set the Levites before Aaron and his sons, and shall offer them as a wave offering to the Lord. Then you shall separate the Levites from among the people of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine."
It's interesting here that Numbers chapter 8 is kind of setting apart all the Levites. In Leviticus chapter 8, we had the first priest being consecrated. So like there's a little mnemonic maybe to remember that. In Leviticus 8 is when you first set apart the priests, and here is like all the Levitical tribe being set apart and cleansed.
That's helpful.
Okay, verse 15, "After that the Levites shall go in to serve at the tent of meeting when you have cleansed them and offered them as a wave offering. For they are wholly given to me among the people of Israel, instead of all who open the womb. The firstborn of all the people of Israel I have taken for myself." Now, we've seen this several times before about how the
Substitution.
the Levites are to be taken rather than all the other people.
Firstborn, yeah.
"For all the firstborn among the people of Israel are mine, both of man and beast. On the day that I struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated them for myself, and I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the people of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons from among the people of Israel to do the service for the people of Israel at the tent of meeting, and to make atonement for the people of Israel, that there may be no plague among the people of Israel when the people of Israel come near the sanctuary."
Thus did Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the people of Israel to the Levites. According to all the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites, the people of Israel did to them. And the Levites purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes, and Aaron offered them as a wave offering before the Lord, and Aaron made atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that, the Levites went in to do their service in the tent of meeting before Aaron and his sons. As the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so they did to them.
"And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, This applies to the Levites. From 25 years old and upward, they shall come to do the duty in the service of the tent of meeting. And from the age of 50 years old, they shall withdraw from the duty of the service and serve no more. They minister to their brothers in the tent of meeting by keeping guard, but they shall do no service. Thus you shall do to the Levites in assigning their duties." Like mandatory retirement age of a Levite is 50 years old. Okay, so in terms of summary here, like it's, there's these lamps at the beginning, whatever those lamps are, but the majority, the big part of
Yes.
this, as the ESV says, is the cleansing of the Levites. I think cleansing the Levites would be a good summary title.
Yeah. Okay, now chapter 9. We're going to talk about the Passover. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt. Okay, so this is like the 1 year anniversary, right, of them leaving Egypt.
Yep. So that was like back in Exodus chapter 12 and 13, as I remember. And that was the first Passover, the real Passover, and now this is the Passover in remembrance of that Passover. This is the second Passover ever.
Right, and they started their calendar year based on the Passover. Okay, so in the first month of the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, "Let the people of Israel keep the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month at twilight you shall keep it at its appointed time. According to all its statutes and all its rules you shall keep it." So Moses told the people of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover in the first month, on the 14th day of the month at twilight, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so the people of Israel did. And there were certain men who were unclean through touching a dead body, so that they could not keep the Passover on that day, and they came before Moses and Aaron on that day. And those men said to him, "We are unclean through touching a dead body. Why are we kept from bringing the Lord's offering at its appointed time among the people of Israel?" And Moses said to them, "Wait that I may hear what the Lord will command concerning you."
Yeah, so this Passover is important. They want to keep it, but then they were defiled because of dead body. They said, "I want to keep the Passover, but you can't because you're undefiled." So Moses inquires of the Lord. In verse 9, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the people of Israel, saying, if any one of you or your descendants is unclean through touching a dead body, or is on a long journey, he shall still keep the Passover to the Lord. In the second month, on the 14th day at twilight, they shall keep it." So in other words, like delayed a month, which is really interesting here because it shows that the keeping of the Passover is more important than the date of the Passover.
Interesting.
It's just, it's more important to remember than it is when you remember. And then it describes the Passover. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any of its bones. According to all the statute of the Passover, they shall keep it. But if anyone who is clean and not on a journey fails to keep the Passover, that person shall be cut off from his people, because he did not bring the Lord's offering at its appointed time. That man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger sojourns among you and would keep the Passover to the Lord according to the statute of the Passover and according to its rule, so he shall do so. You shall have one statute, both for the sojourner and for the native. I mean, this was really important. Like, you need to keep the Passover, is what he's saying. Like, just to remember what God has done in bringing you out of the land of Egypt.
Well, and this right here in chapter 9 of Numbers is the first time they are celebrating the Passover in remembrance of leaving Egypt. And so they're just setting some expectations and standards here. Okay, verse 15. On the day that the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony, and at evening it was over the tabernacle like the appearance of fire until morning. That must have been so dramatic. So it was always. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And whenever the cloud lifted from over the tent, after that the people of Israel set out. And in the place where the cloud settled down, there the people of Israel camped. At the command of the Lord, the people of Israel set out, and at the command of the Lord they camped. As long as the camp rested over the tabernacle, they remained in camp. Even when the cloud continued over the tabernacle many days, the people of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and did not set out. Sometimes the cloud was a few days over the tabernacle, and according to the command of the Lord they remained in camp. Then, according to the command of the Lord, they set out. And sometimes the cloud remained from evening until morning, and when the cloud lifted in the morning, they set out. Or if it continued for a day and a night, when the cloud lifted, they set out. Whether it was 2 days, or a month, or a longer time that the cloud continued over the tabernacle, abiding there, the people of Israel remained in camp and did not set out. But when it lifted, they set out. At the command of the Lord they camped, And at the command of the Lord they set out. They kept the charge of the Lord at the command of the Lord by Moses.
Okay, well, here we see just sort of the, the plan of traveling is just follow the cloud,
Right.
essentially, right?
Right. When the cloud stays over the tabernacle, they stay. And when it moves, then they follow it.
Yep.
And that's how the Lord directed them as to when they were to camp and where they were to move.
Yep, pretty simple. Okay, we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All right, goodbye.